Mit?
Streamen?
Ja.
Muszáj. Egyáltalán nem kell.
Outer Worlds. Az esti meccs. Az esti sztori folytatása.
ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me. I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the hub to the unreliable, then use your navigation computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system micro-jumps were prohibited for a reason.
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2. In theory, you'll be fine, provided your calculations are correct.
I don't understand a word you said, Doc. All I know is we're gonna hijack a colony ship. Count me in.
Yes, excellent. I approve of your enthusiasm, young man. You should ask your captain for a raise. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you skip the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately. Certainly. How can I help? It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the moon nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny. Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but it was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people of the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time. The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some particularly nasty defenses. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, I'll have plenty of time to prepare my defenses. Certainly. How can I help? You've bought me more than enough time.
I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Because I'm not in the business of arresting my own allies. You have my word. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rude, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain? We are now in orbit of Byzantium, Captain. We are in one piece, Captain.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your own friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward for mercy. The signal you sent us is experiencing some interference. My agents will need time to isolate the problem. We're going to monitor Wells until we're ready to make it. I asked you here to discuss something far more. I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking and disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must have come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions. What's in this for you? There's gotta be an angle. There always is for people like you. I appreciate your skepticism, Dr. Fenhill. But I'm not doing this for any personal gain. My angle is the preservation of our colony by any means possible. Nothing more, and nothing less.
The powerful make the mistakes, and the powerless are left paying the price, as it has always been. Tell me, Adjutant, have you anything to offer beyond the usual false platitude?
I'm offering decisive action, Victor Minnesota. I can no longer depend on lazy, will bureaucrats to help me rescue Halcyon. I need someone with a backbone, someone like your captain. I won't pretend the truth isn't dead. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. I'll answer however I can. The Lifetime Employment Program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the fine print. The program is logical, it's reasonable, it's merciful, and most importantly, it will work. Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony. And as long as Byzantium survives, Halcyon may one day recover from the collapse. We must protect this city at any cost. Help me execute the Lifetime Employment Program, and you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. You will live in comfort and want for nothing. When you turn Fenris Wells over, I will rely on you. You've demonstrated your ability to place duty above sentiment, and you deliver results. That quality alone is enough to separate you from the Lord's army of indecisive bureaucrats. Do you know how many meetings I have to sit through? How many papers I have to sign before I can make one decision? I'm only trying to rescue Halcyon from extinction. I can't save this colony alone. I need someone capable of working outside of the system. Someone who can get things done. We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have noticed the signs in Emerald Vale. Malnutrition, disease, high mortality rates. This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem with logistics as well as marketing. Your workers must remain productive on as little food as possible, and they must always believe that food is plentiful. I'm sure you remember Dr. Anton Gray. His research was instrumental in developing a powerful appetite suppressant. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The lifetime employment program is our only viable option. When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked, even disgusted. I wondered how we'd allowed a colony like Halcyon to fall into disarray. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the colony had sown the seeds of its own destruction. We have become lazy and decadent. We smother ourselves in meaningless bureaucracies. We deliberate and argue and procrastinate. I admit, I occasionally fantasize about making an executive decision without having some genius convince my efforts. Do you have any idea how much faith is involved in ordering someone's execution?
Hát nem kerül soha, nem, nincs rájövő, sajnos.
Csak mondom, kezdeményezések vannak már. Rámutam.
Jó, hát most egy kicsit más.
We need to talk about Emerald there. Thanks to your meddling, Edgewater is without power. Operations have ground to a halt. You've left us with a useless town draining our resources. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe the town out. No survivors. I get that you ward types are all about efficiency, but isn't this a bit much? I'm asking your captain to amputate a rotting limb from the colony. I'd expect you to understand, Dr. Fenham.
I cannot condone this plan. Wanton, senseless destruction of life is never the solution.
I don't need you to approve of my plan, Victor. I need you to get it done. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you. When you diverted power to the botanical lab, you spelled the end of Edgewater. The town is still hanging on, still living off whatever meager resources we send them. With every passing day, Edgewater reaches more of our limited resources. The town is a rotting limb, and we must be surgeons. Because we've been negligent. You're right, the colony can't possibly feed itself. And it's our fault. This is our mess. And the only way we clean it up is by taking action. I'm not asking you to be a murderer. I'm asking you to be a surgeon. Edgewater is the product limb on the body of the colony. It must be severed. We don't have any other option. The colony is on the verge of collapse, and we no longer have the luxury of easy solutions. Edgewater is beyond saving. We're going to have to erase the town, but we're going to do it systematically. You were in the Vale geothermal plant. Do you remember what you discovered there? You've been paying attention. You're absolutely right. In fact, Spacer's Choice manufactured the instrument for an insurance claim. They outfitted their mechanicals with a termination protocol, which is exactly what we need. The insurance claim has been locked in committee for years, but the individual responsible for the accident was promoted for lateral thinking. I'm arranging for delivery of mechanicals to Edgewater. These mechanicals have been equipped with the same termination protocol, which must be activated from a terminal in the plant. Once the mechanicals are finished cleaning out Edgewater, I'll need you to go in and clean out the mechanicals. Understand? I appreciate the flattery, Captain. One last thing. Spacer's Choice sent a team of soldiers to investigate your misadventure in the geothermal plant. Tread lightly. Then don't hurt them. Carve a path through the control I care. Just take care of it. Report back to me when the job's done.
Én nem akartam.
Get rid of Edgewater. I'll deal with the consequences. I'll answer however I can. Was there anything else? Adjutant Akande has instructed me to reward you for information leading to the arrest of Phineas Wells. Please allow me to extend my felicitations on a job well done. Quite so.
It is endlessly fascinating to me that all existence is simply atoms, molecules, and chemical reactions, which in turn create and govern our bodies, minds, and emotions. And yet somehow, we still believe we are in control.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Milyen sok trédet elköltöttél?
Na,
Most már újra akarod rakni magad, elég sokáig kell szórakozni a talentekkel, vagy király'istenekkel, pörkökkel.
Ez most már lehet az ultimate, vagy az
Most azokat nem tudom, hogy neked tetszettek.
így van. Most már nem fogom újra rakni. Ez biztosan.
Megváltoztatom a csomagot, gondolom mondtad egyik csomag külön jön a háromból.
Kaptam a külön üzenetet ugyanarra a csomagra, hogy tudom, melyik rész, az első rész, második rész, harmadik része, ekkor már akkor fog jönni.
Igen, meg azt tudod.
Nem tudom, melyiket hozza.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please.
describe the nature of the accident? Let's see. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. This area is currently experiencing a surprise audit. Turn around and head back to your designated workplace or domicile. Damn it. You were in the claims department, right? Told those idiots to call me the moment you landed. Don't let me get in your way. Go on through.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince the central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the Sun. The Hope is the groundbreaker's prettier sniffer sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, and just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold. Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. I can breathe in comfortably, Captain. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince the central computer to enable the skip drive.
Real problem with this.
I'm not exploding, so this worked. You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any point. Nobody would be so stupid as to flock to the ass end of the colony on this damn road. Shows how much I know. You've got about 5 seconds to tell me what you're doing here before I make you take a walk outside. Exploded? Oh shit. Alright. You want a uniform so my staff doesn't shoot you inside. They're dangerous mix of Lord and Trick have. You've got a few extra in the old badge stations. Good luck.
Great work.
Innen nézem, a stream másik oldalán vagyok.
Megnéztem.
Most vissza a helyre, mi?
Így van, nem nézzük innen.
Jó. Mi a tette át, hogy ne legyél éhes?
Hát meg úgy folyadék.
De vagy nem, de szerintem azt kezdőnek vetted?
De szeretem.
Amit reggel vettél édes péksidét.
Ja, neked mert tudom, nekem elég a izé.
Ja. Ó, majdnem megettem. Előbb nem, hogy el kéne felejteni. Nem mondtad?
Nem, tudom, nekem meg lesz a izé.
Már mondom, mit vettél?
De hát a hambit, meg így is hagytál ebből is.
Hagytam ebből is, de nem. Azért belátom voltam.
Úgyis még most vagyok ilyes, úgyhogy nem baj. Még ott maradok kicsi, ha ilyesek, akkor majd megeszem.
scratch my name on one of those pods? Yeah, I figured.
Thanks, but thank you.
I see you go.
Here they come!
Sorry.
The real problem with this.
Error. Group data not found. Identify yourself. Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering your stated identification. Please report to your nearest mechanical engineer. Error. Paradox prevention has temporarily disabled this unit's auditory processing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Am I the only one who wants to scratch my name on one of those pods? Yeah, I figured.
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the host. I see you've located the stasis chambers. Which pod was the struggling in for so long? The missing one is the to sign up for a cleanup?
Somebody out of that one horror series. It's called. Oh, yeah. Slaughter Island.
That's the host computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you from the host computer system. It's a rather cranky unit, but will do. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the hope will void the warranty on skip drive. And also potentially valid price penalty. Please help me right out, Captain. Jump starting skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
First ways to go out, I suppose.
Tudom azt nem játszani?
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the hope rate through.
Pillanat, fontos, hogy
1.
Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that have been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That's what my captain intends. Yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The zero-point drive's torque and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
ugrok a hoppal a gazdagon belül, ez már majd a végig gondolom.
De a DLC-ket nem csináltak meg, nem?
Nem, azokat még jönnek, azok még erre vannak.
Akkor van egy csomó content például.
Ez a jutály content.
Hát de ez azt nem mondom, hogy nem rosszabbak.
Én már közösen is kezdtem, a visszalit akartam csinálni. Nem is akarsz játszani.
Majd a izében, az esőben egy
Jó.
hát vagyunk olyan viszonyban, hogy játszhatunk vele.
Sem vagyunk olyan viszonyban? Oké.
Eddig össze voltunk vele.
Nem tudtam róla.
Már mindig is egy geci voltál. Elég az össze.
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
I don't recognize you. Are you new here? I'm just trying to make sure you belong here. I guess you've got a point.
csomó kikártya.
Data not found. Identify yourself. Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering your stated identification. Please report to your nearest mechanical engineer. Reminder.
Kiírni sem kell szóval. Ja, azt felírtam. Van még egy kicsi hátra.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Dr. Wells. The transmission is marked with priority status. Urgent! Captain, I shall now complete the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
Thanks for all you won't be. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember. Board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine! You hear me? They're fucking corporate swine! You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem that reporting captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible. How can I be of assistance? Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
Jó. Ezt elmentottam.